Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Spina Bifida Guide to Hope. My name is Leilani, and today I would like to talk about being a woman with spina bifida and having my period. So if this topic is a little bit uncomfortable for you, feel free to click off now and I will see you next week. For those of you who are still here, when I was about 11 years old, I had gotten my period for the first time. Dealing with my period, it wasn't really that big of a deal. I've experienced all the regular stuff that may come with a period. But on top of that, having spina bifida, I feel like it does play a bit of a part in it, because as I got older and back again with my tethered cord, when I used to get my period and I had my tethered cord issue, my cramps would kind of trigger my nerve pain in my back, so it would kind of amplify it 10 to 100 times worse. And when I had my period during that time of the month, while I was having tethered cord issues, I would end up really staying in bed most of those days because I was unable to move because the pain was just amplified to the extreme. Now, after I had, recovered, and now I'm back to not really having pain from a tethered cord, I experience my period a little different now. Now I don't get that back pain that I used to, but I still do, of course, experience the cramping and everything else that comes with a period. Now, something that I feel may be a little different for me as a woman with spina bifida versus an abled woman, I would say one of the differences is, I don't know if it has to do with spina bifida at all, but I do on my period tend to urinate a lot more, and I do self-cath, so I end up going through a lot more catheters during that time of the month. And on top of that, I also do suffer from having accidents, meaning I have many times in my life urinated on myself because I have an overactive bladder. So on top of the period, when I get my period and I get the cramps, that kind of creates a domino effect, and it makes my bladder more overly active, and I am more prone to have an accident during my period. On top of frequent urination, I also have experience with not being able to really take any medication for my cramping or any symptoms that I am having, because medications for me don't really work very well. And the reason for that is because when I was, again, going through my tethered cord issue, I would take pills all the time for the pain. I would take Aleve, I would take Advil, I would take Motrin, Tylenol, anything that I can get my hands on over the counter for pain, I would take to alleviate the pain that I was feeling from my tethered cord. And since I was taking them so much, my body kind of got used to those medications, and now if I try to take them for my period when I have cramping, it doesn't work on me. It doesn't even, the medications, those medications specifically don't even work for me for even a simple headache anymore, because I was taking them so often before, so now my body got used to them. Now, really, I kind of don't take anything because I kind of see it as pointless, considering nothing really works anyway, so why am I going to take medications if it's not going to work? So that's another difference that I kind of see from me compared to other women that experience a period. Also, I am not sure if, in fact, this is true, if pads certain brands may contain latex. I'm unsure. I couldn't really find anything about that, but from my experience, I feel like it could be possible that some pads may have latex. I do personally use pads. I don't use tampons or a Diva cup or anything like that. I've used pads since the beginning of me getting my period. I also use pads for bladder leakage, so I year round every day have a pad on. So I've noticed with certain brands with me that as I'm getting older, I am reacting different to certain brands, and I actually had to go on kind of a hunt to find the correct brand for me and something that wasn't going to irritate that area and create any issues. And I assume that maybe that has to do with maybe some brands do contain latex, but I'm unsure because people with spina bifida do have a latex allergy. Also, for those of you who may self-cath, I do find obviously it can get a little much, a little messy. You definitely, even if you don't cath or you don't have a disability or anything and you just get your period, of course hygiene is very important. You have to make sure that area is clean at all times regardless of disability or not. But I find with cathing it's obviously a little different because with cathing, you know, obviously with me I make sure I'm clean at all times. When I go to the bathroom and I'm ready to cath, I make sure that I wipe away whatever blood is there and then I cath. So it's not really a mess on my hands, it's not a mess on the catheter, it doesn't go inside of the catheter. So that is very important. Always, if you cath, always keep that area clean, especially on your period, because even though I don't think blood from your own body would hurt your bladder in any way, it's still just a precaution to take. Other than that, other than finding pads that work for me, finding medication, which I haven't yet, and if you have a recommendation for me to try, please leave them in the comments below. I've tried Tylenol, I've tried Motrin, Advil, Aleve, Midol, Pamprin, and none of them work specifically for me. So if you have anything else that you can suggest for me when I am going through cramps, I would greatly appreciate if you leave them down in the comments below. Other than those, and other than the frequent urination, I don't really myself experience too much different from other women that are either disabled or not. Let me know in the comments below, as a female with spina bifida, if you experience anything different from a person without spina bifida while you're on your period. Please subscribe to my channel, comment, like, share this video, and I will see you next week. Bye!